Alright guys, let's do a little bit of a market update here today. So for the SPY, we've had a trend change signal. We're obviously still on this sell signal from back here. What I also want to point out to you is when we go and switch to a 12-hour time frame, we get the signals a little bit earlier. So see here we have a sell signal before that October 10. We obviously have a market change, time to get out. We had another big sell signal up here, October 30. Then we've had the trend change. Then we've had the little trap that has formed here. And I'll explain to you as well with this trap, how this has been a trap. So if we look at the cues, they tell us everything. Look, the market is mainly tech based. So even on a day time frame, we've had a November 4th sell signal. And it's a big sell signal. That is a big market shift. If we change to get that signal a little earlier on our 12-hour time frame, 31st of October, big sell signal printed. So these bigger sell signals are really validated. The smaller ones, they're still sell signals and they should be treated as such, but these are the big ones are like, get the hell out of this thing. It's not going to be fun from here onwards. So when we're looking at this, what we've got here is obviously all this particular weakness. We lost the parallel channel trend line, and this is QQQ is like equivalent to your quarterback, right? So your quarterback got injured and the rest of the team in the SPY is like, oh, it's all good, we'll carry on playing. Well, no, that's not going to work out, okay? And that's the result of this now. That's why you've lost the parallel channel on SPY now, because it was never going to be okay. I mean, we had the sell signal here on November 4th. We broke the channel on November 7th. So where are we here? November 4th was trend change, and then November 7th we obviously broke down. Now the cues stayed broken down and everybody's like, oh, we're back in on the SPY, let's rotate to different sectors. It's never going to work out, ever. This was never going to be a good time to play here because the cues are telling you everything. The cues are the tech that you have to play when tech plays. The VIX, lower highs, buy signal, we're on an uptrend. MACD is positive. This is not going to end well. My bellwether indicator. So this is, it's a decent market structure telling us what's going to happen. You look here before we got, tariffs, we had this signal here telling us the SPY down the bottom, that we shouldn't be playing here anymore. And then sure enough, we break down. Same thing here. We've got this bearish divergence on the RSI. We're trending down whilst the market's making new highs. it's never ever going to be good. This is an advanced market structure that I like to look at as well. So it's Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, Avgo, TSM, Palantir. So this is your big tech. What is happening here? We've got bearish divergences on the RSI, making a higher high on price without the RSI confirming, so no good. We've got money flow exiting. We've gone negative now on the MACD. We've had a trend signal change here on Tuesday, November 4th, obviously when the Qs also printed it because, tech is what leads the way. And we've had a big sell signal, the big red diamond. It was time to get the hell out of here. So obviously get the hell out and stay the hell out. Now, I want to alert you guys to this here as well, alert settings. So whenever you're setting an alert, let's go to the cues and try it on there so I can show you. So let's say you wanted to set an alert for the cues, add an alert. We want to go off the buy and sell signals. We want to go off a buy signal, same as chart, 1 day, and then we'll create a buy signal for that. Or if you wanted a sell signal, obviously a sell, or if you wanted divergences. Obviously it's probably just going to be buy and sell signals is all you're going to be interested in. But what my point of this is telling you here, on alert only on confirmed signals. So as you know, we updated the indicator to print 50% opacity signals. They will not be alerted on if this box is checked. So uncheck the box, click OK, and then save your chart. You might not need to save it, but just do it anyway. Then that way you will get an alert to this. I didn't think of this the other day when I was coding it, but like I had this one today on Zerva Therapeutics. You can see it's a 50% opacity buy signal right now, whereas this one over here is obviously 100%. This will be 100% after post-market hours when the market has closed. Now I did get the buy alert for this, but I got it at 4 p.m. Whatever. But now we know, obviously, if you want to be alerted intraday. Also, you need to be aware with the 50% opacity, it could change. It hasn't locked in on that candle until that day has closed. So it is a valid signal, but it could invalidate during intraday, and you could have a bomb drop on the country, and obviously everything changes at that point. But yeah, now in terms of where we're at for gold, I think we're going to be on a trend change here soon. So if we change to our 12-hour, we have triggered that trend change, and I dare say that we're going to head down, probably most likely back into this support zone here, maybe even a little lower. Probably if we tag off this channel that we've had here for a while, that would be a good bounce, and then we more than likely continue to go up from there. I've got this written here 25 week 9, because when we look at what happened, let me turn a few things off here so it's a bit cleaner. When we turn a few things off here, we look at what happened back here in the 80s. Pretty extremely similar structure. So I think human behavior doesn't change is what I'm trying to say, and we're going to more than likely come back down, tag here. Things are a little bit different this time than what they were back in the 80s, but I dare say we're going to have something quite similar play out. I don't think we'll make it back to here if we do buy a lot of it, but start building a position here around the sort of 38.50 zone, and then you should do quite nicely from that. That would be my play for it anyway. Yeah. Anyway, guys, look, I hope you like the updates. Stay safe out there, because I think we're going to go a bit lower here before we go back up. But either way, the charts will tell us what is happening. So trust your indicators, trust the sell signals, switch between your 12-hour and your day, find out what's going on. If you trust these signals, you'll avoid the loss. But this is getting really choppy here. It also looks a lot like this here. Like it really looks a lot like that. So it's off, it's on, it's off, it's back on, and then it crashes. It looks really similar. This here looks really similar to this here. And look, we'll just see what happens. But obviously, if you just followed your signals even here, you had your buy and then your trend change, you get in, you get out here on your sell, you obviously get back in on this buy and get back out on this sell, and you avoid all of this. And even if you wanted to get in on the ABC correction here, you buy on this big and you sell. If we switch to a 12-hour, it'd be interesting what that looks like. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, look, we would have got out. You would have got out there. You would have made a little bit of profit between there and there. You would have been fine. Risky play, but you would have been fine. So trust your signals. They'll pay off for you. Right now is not the time to be too heavily involved in this, especially with what's coming up early 2026.